Now, you know, something that we've kind of spoke about in the past, and I
Mhm.
kind of want to just revisit it just for a little bit. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is January the 6th of 2026, and I hope you guys are feeling fabulous and living the life that you um, should be living. Now, of course, I'm not shitting you because what you do is your business. I do want to walk people through something, and I do want to go over something first and then, segue my way into another discussion. And I want to keep it very simple and short. It's around 1:22 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I just got in from the gym. And so, anyway, something that I find troubling is that everybody is here to allegedly save the people, right? But they're not throwing people life jackets. They're really throwing people devices that are not buoyant. They don't have any buoyancy. Something that I find, like I said, disheartening and troubling is that I see a lot of people, right? And we're gonna call it what they say, rage baiting, right? Like people are seeing topics, they're seeing what's trending, they're doing topics or they're doing videos on these topics to get the clicks, to get the views, to get the sponsorship, to get the check. And in the words of one of my sisters, honey, that's a sellout. What I don't like is that a lot of people are pro black until it becomes the time to be pro black. What I mean by that is that the number one cause of death in Black women in America is cardiovascular disease. This is something that a lot of these so called woke, conscious people, and even like voodoo, hoodoo practitioners don't discuss. But they want to sit here and they want to talk about things that does not connect to them or to other people like them. A lot of people are talking about, and just a little side thing, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but they're talking about what's going on between Venezuela and America. And I don't think a lot of people even know where Venezuela is at. I think a lot of people don't even know what language Venezuelans speak. But yet they're jumping on these topics to discuss them as if they know about these things and if it really matters to them. When in fact, what matters to them is that Black women are dying of heart disease. They're having, cardiovascular issues. And I think it's affected by 1 in 3 women every year. And so this is something that's very serious that when someone who's caring for you, someone who, cares about your well being, that they're going to discuss. Going into, backhand, because of course, while you're bringing and throwing other people under the bus, you got to kind of, bring yourself into that as well. I always tell y'all that I am pro peace. I'm pro love. I'm pro knowing thyself. I'm pro freedom, right? And one thing that I like to bring to people is finding emotional and mental stability, finding a space that you're in that you could work through your trauma, that you can relieve this. A lot of trauma, a lot of things is not just the diet, it's not just the lack of exercise and the sedentary lifestyle. A lot of it is honestly, truly trauma, unresolved trauma. A lot of us, we just have stored up trauma, and the heart being a informational channel, we take on everybody else's problems, everybody else's burdens. And of course, I'm going even into sensitive people, hypersensitive people, people who are compassionate, sympathetic and empathetic. But it goes even deeper than that when it comes to the Black woman in America. And I tell you, I don't talk about the race stuff because I don't think it's that. I am going to say, and I'm going to speak about how the Black woman in America is really the punching bag. The Black woman in America is the energy source that everyone unloads their drama and problems on. And of course, I'm not speaking about it in the sense of That's what I've been saying. Like, the gays and all that. No, I'm speaking of it in the sense of, they're going through troubles. They had trauma growing up. Mom and daddy wasn't there. There was no type of, foundation, no type of protection. They did not feel safe and secure. They did not feel loved. And so they grew up and they wanted to start their own love, their own system, their own structure. And they start meeting these men and or women, and they start getting the same abuse. They start reliving this trauma. They start absorbing. And even going into this, y'all, when the BLM matter happened, I think they said this started with two lesbian women. I don't want to quote things that I don't know to be true, but they were saying in the streets that this was started by two lesbian women, and of course these are people once again fighting for women, Black women fighting for the freedom and or the safety of Black men. These are not Black men. These are not Black male-driven organizations doing this, or Black females. And even going into, like I said, the sense of, when a man goes to jail, the Black woman is there to bond him out. And like I said, I don't want to go too deep into that because it gets a little cloudy. It gets a little, stretched and people can add on, then it could turn to other conversations. But all I'm saying is that would be my major concern. Why am I seeing Black women spiritualists and or vloggers, or because everybody's a journalist now, jumping on everything that goes on in the news, everything that deals with everything except for the health and well-being of Black women, the health and the well-being of Black women. Without Black children, without Black women, they're Black men. And so in the sense of that, the well-being, the physical health, the mental health, the emotional health, that should be the top priority if you are really about your Black people. But what it looks to me, and I always say this, is that people only want to jump on and talk about things when it's trendy. They want to see what is a cash grabbing situation and want to now speak about it. You should have always talked about this. This should have been your main thing. This should have been your awareness to lupus, your awareness to, women's health, heart health. Even going into the state of, instead of telling, these women to stay with these deadbeat fathers or these deadbeat boyfriends, or, stop giving this man your all, you were encouraging them, hey, you got 4K, I can help do this work. And it's like right there and there. This is the lead on to things. There's something else I want to go into as well, but of course I'll say that for another video because, like I said, I want to keep this, simple. I did do an hour workout. I started at the 11 o'clock hour, and I'm pretty like pooped. But something that, and I'm not gonna say something that is amazing to me. I'll say this, right? And this is going to be before I go. People got to understand, right? I'm not shitting you. I'm not forcing you. I'm not making you do something. I'm giving you advice, woman to woman, feminine energy to feminine energy. Someone who's been down this path. People lie. And I think that people will use situations and things to get ahead. And I think that people have to understand that everyone cannot be trusted. And unfortunately, in this session, in this progress, in this journey, people have been set up. Some people did not make it out of the setup. Some people walked out, bruised. Some people walked out with stolen items. Some people walked out with whatever. Just a lot of things that happened by connecting with the wrong people that they kind of gave not the benefit of the doubt to, but they were just like gullible. In the sense of, this person said that they liked you. This person said that you were this and that, and you believed it. I want people to understand that the energy you put out is the energy you give. And I'm saying this in the sense of, when you give somebody your all, you're giving them your all in the sense of mental, emotional, and physical It's not just the physical, it's not just the mental, it's not just the emotional, it's every single thing. And unfortunately, and this also goes into this as well, a lot of people are in relationships with people that they're not physically attracted to. A lot of people are in relationship with people that they really don't have anything sexually, they don't have sexual compatibility. The man is into this and the woman is into that, and they don't see eye to eye when it comes to that. And so with that being said, you're upset possibly that they're playing games or they're not communicating or they're not being clear when the same energy you're putting into it is the exact same thing. You're not being clear. You're not putting your boundaries down. You're not stating what it is that you're wanting, what you're expecting, and then moving forward. You're just kind of going with the flow. Unfortunately, going with the flow will leave you on the wayside. Unfortunately, going with the flow will leave you with a lot of questions and in a state of confusion 10 to 20 years later. And some people, it's 30, 40, 50. Some people have been married for a long time. They've just been stuck in a state of confusion their whole life. I tell people that's how routine say this, even going into the past. Gay is not anything new. Being deal is not anything new. The same sex situations and vice versa. And I tell you, as long as of course, I had this discussion earlier with someone I know. And we were thinking about ghosting and flaking. And I'm like, to me, I think that all people are potentially ghosters, like they're able to ghost. I think all people are considered flaky because even if it's a legitimate reason, an unreliable person is still a flaky person. Whether it's a made up situation why they couldn't hang out with you or not. And so with that being said, I think we all have this potential, right? Because if something better come along, baby, you got it right. I'm going to be canceling our plans. And that could be money, that could be anything. And so of course I would be considered a flaky person. And then like I said, going into like ghost as well, people, communicate with you, then they just stop. I feel like people don't owe you anything. And that was my stance on the conversation earlier, is that people don't owe you anything. And you can't really be upset and you can't lose sleep, if you are to lose sleep, about why this person is doing what they need to do. You need to deal with how you manage things and look for people that manage things the way you manage things. And even on top of that, look for people that are compatible to you energetically, vernacularly, mentally, emotionally. Okay. And in the sense of put it all out on the table. If you want him to be honest or her to be honest about their potential or their plans with you, you lay it out on the table. Well, hey, baby, I would love to have this with you, but unfortunately, this is what I do, A, B, C, D, F, G, that may potentially stop this from going through. And then they could decide what they want to do from that. Something that I think that a lot of people don't do, and I kid you not, y'all. I really thought about getting into matchmaking and stuff because I'm like, something I think a lot of people don't do anymore with friends and or with their potential mates is courting. And courting is actually the time you spend to get to know each other. You should be asking every single thing. I don't know why. And I always think about this. I don't know why somebody will be talking to somebody for 30 days and not know their blood type and not know their, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's such to somebody that you want to potentially be with. Like, how do you not know their weaknesses and their pros? Like, in my mind, I know it's because you're not courting. You're asking other questions that may not be, may not be to what it is that you're trying to have. Your end game, your end goal. And so this is why you're left in a state of confusion. Like, why did they stop talking to me? Why I feel like he's not communicating with me the way he should be communicating. And once again, it's because you're not communicating the way that you need to be communicating. The first date, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm expecting in my partner. So that way, after that first date, if they ghost you, baby, good riddance. This whole idea that I'm going to wait until the third or fourth date to tell them or to ask them these type of questions because I don't want to scare them away is going to leave you in a state of once confusion. You're going to be like, what? I feel like I'm doing that. And it's like you're really not. You're not being honest and true. And thing. The idea that you don't want to communicate, the idea that you don't want to say what your end goal is, what people you're trying to make an end goal with, it is going to, like I said, leave you in a state of confusion. You're going to always be disappointed, and you're going to always feel like, damn, I feel like things are not going the way I wanted to go. Okay, so that's pretty much it, honey. And let me see what's up in here before I go, honey. Come on in there, King of Sheba. Oh, the connection's messed up a bit. Uh oh. What about now, honey? It's important, you guys, to communicate, lay boundaries with people. And we spoke about this before. It is healthy to lay down boundaries. It's healthy to let people know I don't feel comfortable with A, B, C, D, F, G. And that's something too. See, we all have our do's and don'ts, right? And this is how we know who and what we're compatible with. In my and I'm just being honest with y'all, right? If someone I know put up a boundary, right? Me being someone who's, healing, I've done a lot of growing and I got a lot of more growing to do. But if someone gave me a boundary that I think would tamper with and or dampen our relationship, whether it's friendship or intimacy, respectfully, I'm going to just end that. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? That's a boundary that doesn't make sense to me. And of course, it's not me, clowning or, reading or, I know it all. No, I think that some people, I think that when it comes to boundaries and stuff, I think a lot of people, it's good to know what you like and what you don't like, and then you place your boundaries. Some people don't know what they like. Some people don't know what they don't like, right? They don't know their likes or dislikes. They don't even know anything about themselves because they spent their whole life either people pleasing or being something that they're not. And so now when it comes time to, what are you into? I don't know. Or what are you into? Or like peanut butter and jelly. Really? Out of all the food that you could have said, I don't know, maybe there's people out there really like peanut butter and jelly. I've had different types of food, different tastes, of things in my mouth. So I'm like, girl, I don't get excited by the simple stuff, honey. There's no shade with that, honey. And so you asked me what I like was my favorite, tea. I might tell you anything with like garlic, onion, you know what I mean? Anything with that, black garlic, onion, you know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna say. Anything like that. And so, baby, that kind of give you a broad side. When it's like, no, honey, I just like cereal. Why you like cereal? Well, I like that. I can take the grains and the fruits or the oats, and I could, eat them with, with a cream or with a milk or whatever. It's like, wait, what? That's the best thing you've had. That's the only type of, and of course I'm not judging, but that's the best thing you had, baby. Like, baby, I need the boundaries to be like, hey, I'm open to these things, but I don't like pork. Cause that's where I draw the line at, girl. And that's just an example. So I'm saying healthy boundaries. You have boundaries. It's okay to put your boundaries up, but also be respectful to the people that you're putting these boundaries with. Be respectful to their decision of, hey, you know what? That doesn't work for me. Because of course everything's about compromising. But baby, once again, if I feel like your boundary is like, girl, you don't really know what you want, or you're not really, that doesn't make sense. Then of course, like I said, baby, respectfully, honey, good luck to you. God bless you and your boundaries. And I hope you find what you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's a little side note, honey. Y'all, let me take my let me take my bed. Let me take my ass to bed. Y'all, a very productive day. Yes, worked out, did my thing, did some stuff, and now I'm ready to just crashing out, girl. I'm laying on the pillow right now, girl. We did a cryo bed. Oh my God, we did a deep tissue massage where they rock you and stuff. Oh my God, Jesus. We did a red light therapy session. Oh Jesus. And now I'm just like, girl, my body is like, girl, go to bed, shut that brain down and rejuice up. Okay, rejuice. I bought some garlic to make some ginger to make some ginger tea with. Oh, those on off guard. I feel it coming up on me right now. Oh, Jesus. I feel it. 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 What. But yes, honey, Mystic, is it protection work considered baneful? Crazy thing about it. So shocked me, right? And this is just a little sideline. Hey, well, that's crazy. Uh huh. They mess with the connection, like you said, King of Sheba. They actually said that it's on their end. StreamYard did. So this is where I go into this because I've come to the conclusion that everything is perception. The most dangerous part about perception is that people will push their perception, whether that perception is based off of knowledge or ignorance, lack thereof, right? Knowledge is knowing something or having access to something, and lack of knowledge, which is also known as ignorance, or ignorance is also like lacking knowledge, whether you choose to lack it or not. Um, to me, that's the problem. That's the problematic. That's where it gets a little gray and muddy, because people will literally put people in a state of fear, and a lot of people are already afraid of. And of course, we're talking, right? There's three people I know from YouTube that we were once connected, and of course, one of the persons were never a client of mine. but we were close. We called each other spiritual sisters. These people became born again Christians. They got baptized and all sorts of good shit because they got afraid. They had mixed energies. They had people like me telling them, do work to protect yourself. And of course, they're like, protection work. And they go click online, and there's another wannabe or self-taught individual. And it's saying, go get cat piss and dog bones and cat bones and taking a dog hair and a cat hair. This person's like, but why would I do energetic work on a dog or a cat? Or why would I do these harmful things? And so it puts them in a state of fear where they're like, I'm not going to do no protection work. I'm not going to do no protection work because I'm afraid that this shit's going to come back to me. And there's people that are teaching that. And this person in particular teaches that. So it's like whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. And you just do your work for things to come to you. And I'm just like, why don't y'all just get out the spiritual community? Why don't y'all just hang it up? Stop buying candles. Stop buying crystal. That'd be another thing I'd be pissing the hell off if we're going to be honest here. If you believe that protecting yourself is baneful or destructive, get the fuck out of here. Go home. Bitch, become a Christian again. Because I'm being honest, like, those are the only ones that say shit like that. These are the ones that have their feet halfway and halfway out. These are people that are like, well, I want to do the work, but I'm afraid. If you're afraid, get the fuck out the kitchen. And that's period. Get out the kitchen, babe. So for me, I feel like when you're a spiritual person, because you should be protected, and protection is not always about negative dangly stuff. Baby, you could do simple protection work like taking a bowl and put lemon in it and water and close your eyes and visualize this lemon cleansing all negative energy in your space in your home. That's not negative. That's not destructive. That's not harmful. In the sense of, yeah, honey, I've been seeing people out here doing some heavy duty protection work where I'm just like, you don't have to do all that for protection, girl. Like, are you protecting yourself from other people, or you're protecting yourself from yourself? Because some of this stuff, honestly, is them protecting themselves from themselves. It's not you protecting yourself from anybody, because somebody like me walk up in that motherfucking space and you think, oh, you got some cat bones, some dog piss, some dog hair. You brought the hair of your ancestors who fought in there. Girl, that's not going to stop that's not going to stop a fuck ass thing from getting your ass together, girl, if it came down to me and you motherfucking getting into it. Hello? That's not going to stop that, babe, because your energy, your intention is not there. You're still scary. You're moving like a witch. And that's where it's like, yeah, these are the people I don't want to be around. These are the people I don't want to connect to. These are the spiritual people that you're out here talking like a big woman, but you're not really. You're a scared little girl. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to play, if that's, you want to cosplay that you're this big old powerful witch to get a coin because you don't got no trade, you don't got no other skills, hello? But maybe some clerical work, maybe some medical terminology, so be it. But it's not baneful to protect yourself. So I do not think protection work is baneful. And I don't think that anybody who has common sense or brain would think that it is. I think that a lot of people out here are, once again, they're just egotistically driven. They have no connection with the source. They have no connection with the light. And it's unfortunate. And so they're here with the agenda to mislead people and keep people further away from the source. And ultimately it's you. Like, you don't become a Christian to find God. You don't become a Christian to please your mama and your daddy. You ultimately become a Christian to find you. Because, of course, God is the one that you're seeking, but you find yourself in God. You're not into the Yoruba tradition because it sounds cute and, oh, well, she looks sexy, and I think I want that sexy energy too. And, oh, my gosh, I want this a bad bitch. I want that bad bitch energy too. The fuck? Your great grandma was a bad bitch too. Why don't you have an altar of her? Your mama, some of y'all mamas are bad bitches. Why don't you have an altar of her? And that's what the problem is. You're not seeking yourself. You become this shit because it's fun and it's cute. And I want to talk about witchy stuff because that was trendy to talk about. And now when the shit is real, you're like, damn, honey, in 15 you look like a 50-year-old person. I mean, 50 years of aging. And there's people that are the same age or older than you. You're like, damn, they look younger than you. And maybe it's because you think it's baneful to protect yourself and harmful. I don't know. Like, I do not think it's baneful or destructive to do protection work. And that's another thing too, honey. Stop telling people everything you do. Protection work with people and keep it at that. Stop. Oh, girl, I'm about to go do some blood. I mean, that too. And I think people, because I think, like, let me act like I really get down with some work. And it's like, but if you're really doing this work, why can't you get Donald Trump to give you your health care? And that was another thing too, and I mentioned this before. When food stamps was locked up and stuff, what was all these food stamp witches? What was all these witches that just the work? Your shit was still locked up for those 30 days. Was it 30 days, 45 days? And that's where it be at for me. Like, I think that internet, online stuff, people have their different energies and their different images. And I think a lot of people try to maintain that. And I always say this, and I think it's kind of odd, right? That a lot of these spiritual people, and of course, this is not me throwing shade at anybody. I'm just speaking my truth because, of course, you asked the question, Jay, and it's kind of, led into all this. A lot of these spiritual people are not connected with their family. And it's not because they just became this powerful ass witch or spiritual person and his families don't want to fuck with them, because they're a powerful witch. A lot of these people did some fucked up ass shit. And in the sense of to where they were like, fuck my family. And I think that going into this as well, I think that it's a little different, right? Because like I said, we find ourselves in other people. In my friends, in my sisters, in my people that I love and I connect with. Something about them reminds me of something either about myself or somebody that I love, that I grew up with, that I knew my whole life. Can we talk about it? And so I find my connections with these people, and these connections last a long time because the connections that I have with the people that I love and I care about are long, forever lasting, lifetime connections. I think a lot of people have a hard time finding a man or being with a man or being with a woman. It's not because these men and these women do not accept their love for who they are. I think that is ultimately and truly they're not really liking and knowing who they are. And so when the family and friends remind them of who they are, and then we're talking about family and friends who grew up with them. And once again, we're taking out transgenderism because people are going to start. So what that's part of the same thing we got. That's a totally different story. Somebody calling you a hoe and you are a hoe is very different. Somebody calling you a motherfucking man and you're like, listen, respectfully, if you still see me as a man, that's your business. But for respecting purposes, my name is Caitlin. And they want to still say man and he and all that bitch. Yeah, intentionally, girl, you being intentional, bitch. So intentionally, I'm blocking your motherfucking ass out and go to jail. Hello? That's a totally different concept versus my family don't fuck with me because when I was a teenager, I was a hoe. My family don't fuck with me because I slept with my auntie's baby's daddy. Like, this be these type of problems with these people. And so these be the ones that also be talking about that protection work is baneful. And it's like, girl, instead of you out there teach people that protection work is baneful, you should be doing that healing work. You should be out there trying to heal that trauma that you have that your mom and daddy didn't accept you or maybe they rejected you, because that has to hurt. And I brought that up in the past, and I've never said that to like cut at people and jab at people. Because I know that everything that you go through it creates you. Some people I know that grew up without their parents became very well-rounded, loving, nurturing, respectful people because they know what it's like to have a loss of love. While on the other hand, some people didn't grow up with their mom and their dad and they were thrown to the wolves and they kind of held on to that vengeance. So now they're fucking up everybody and everything that they come in contact with. So now they feel like everybody owed them something because mom and daddy wasn't there. And like I said, that's something that you really should work through. And so respectfully for me, I'm like, baby, if we're going to be dealing with each other and I'm going to be listening to what the hell you're talking about, I got to know, baby, what is the root giving like? Beyonce talk about, a lot of people talk about, if you don't understand, let's break it down really quick before I go. Beyonce said, I'm the roots, you are the tree, and I'm going to pass on the fruit that was given to me. You are the root, or you are the tree and the branches from your mama and your grandmama and your granddaddy. So when there's no connections there and they're not passing on the fruit that was given them to you, what the fuck are you passing on to us as a spiritual leader? And that's where I stand with that. And I said that respectfully, girl. Maybe my biological father was not in my life all the time, but I still had some type of connection with my biological father. But I still had aunties and uncles, and I still had godparents, godfathers. I still had older siblings, older cousins that stepped in and guided me on the way I needed to be guided. So there was no signal being sent out. And so I'm not going to sit here and blame anything about my life on anybody who was not in the picture, who was in the picture, because I take full accountability, responsibility as an adult of my life. But we still have a lot of grown people around here that don't want to get that healing, but they want to go out and make kids, and those kids become unhealed people as well. And now we have our kids, and when I say our kids, I'm talking about us healed people, us people that went through the issues and healed ourselves. Now we got these sour patch ass motherfuckers coming on in, procreating with our motherfucking kids, and now we got to fucking knock the motherfucker out, or we got some grandkids that might be a little dark-seated too. And that's what it comes down to. So it's like, for me, this is where I stand, and I will always stand on. Bitch, there is different types of spiritual people. And there are people that are spiritual because they hope to enlighten the world. They hope to share open energy fields, because it's not about me sharing with you all of my light source, right? Because I got to keep some for myself. But because we're talking about it and we're acknowledging it, now the universe opens up a doorway or energy field for you to have access to certain things. I don't want to be that person to come here and only say, oh, it's about this, it's about that. And let's say money is one example. Baby, I don't have a criminal record. I can go to school for anything. I can get any type of training on anything I want. I told you before, and I will continue to say this again, honey, something that I'm licensed to do in the state of California, you have to get an FBI clearance. Anybody knows about an FBI clearance? That's one of the highest levels of clearance that you can get, baby, because they go back. They go way back, baby. Even when you think you have a case of sponge and shit, they can go into that. So what I'm saying is that, baby, it's about really helping you out, because in the long run, girl, I don't know how we're going to, I mean, can we talk about it really quickly? I'm going to be done. I don't know how this shit comes around full circle, but it does. I don't know if one day down the line you're here in this moment without a kid, without a partner, and you're by yourself and you're like, listen, I need some type of wisdom, some type of guidance, some type of help, some type of assistance on finding myself, because if I don't, it's going to all end here. I'm teaching you, or I'm sharing with you what I know, and of course what Spirit has given me to share with you, because a lot of these experiences I've never experienced personally, but because the Spirit comes through, the Spirit tells me what I need to tell you. Who's to say 10 or 15 years down the line, I have a business and I end up employing your great-great-grandchild, or let's say your grandchild. Let's say your grandchild. I don't know that, but I'm like, damn, this person is such a well-rounded person. This child is so good at what they want. And then coming to find out, you their grandmama or you their granddaddy. So for me, I think about things becoming full circle. And I also think about the seeds that I share with people. It's never only about money. It's never only about clout. It's never only about a follow. Because at the end of the day, girl, you die today, that shit ain't gonna matter. I know people on YouTube that are not a part of the spiritual community that was very popular and they passed away and nothing is left of them. They had a huge following. They had, girl, YouTube check. Their legend was making 10K a month on YouTube and it's gone. So it lasted while I was here. And it's like, but what is the legacy behind all that? So like I said, for me, I leave seeds. I share things to hopefully one day, and whether it's with me or not, because you can say, girl, I don't really fuck with the gays. I don't really fuck with the LGBT. I'm a woman of God now. Something still within you that was planted awakened you to make you say, I need to go into the light. Because it's all this. I mean, we have different paths of finding the light, but we find the light. If you have a soul, we find the light. And so that's where it's at for me. It's unfortunate, back into the original question, it's unfortunate that a lot of people are, you know, out here trying to be leaders and teachers of energy, but yet they're putting fearful energy out there. Like it's painful and destructive to do protection work. Like, wait, what? So you're saying the Torah has it wrong? You're saying that the old teachings have it wrong? And then you're wondering why you're sitting there penny pinching. You're wondering why how somebody with all these degrees is going to end up being an old, bitter man or woman. You're going to find out why in your younger years, you were the hottest commodity. And now in the older years, ain't nobody wanting that. And there's people getting married at 80 years old. But why are you left out? Because all you've shared was baneful, negative energy. You didn't share nothing motivational. You didn't say, that's something I should keep to myself. You know, I think it's baneful to do protection work and all this stuff. So let me just stay over here. Let me just mind my business. No, what you said is that, girl, I want to get a check too. Let me act like I'm a spiritual teacher and the spirit used me and God is telling me this and God's that. But it's baneful to do protection work. What? This I said, that's why I don't fuck with y'all, honey. Respectfully, I don't. Very few spiritual people on kind of one hand that I fuck with. The rest of these people, I'm like, girl, these people are weird people. These people are narcissists. These people are egotistical, driven people that are only talking about spirituality because it pays their bills. Girl, without that, girl, they would not be talking about it. Girl, they don't have no type of teaching degree. They don't got no type of medical degree. They don't got no type of political science degree. They don't have nothing, girl, to fall back on if something go down, girl. This is all they do. A lot of people are motherfucking criminals. So this is the only thing they can do. So now I've had a message from God, and let's tap on and get a check. That's it, honey. God is good. The universe is good. The guides are good. Oh, come on here. We just want to give, before we get up out of here, we want to give thanks to the universal God for protection and uplifting energy. Ow. We want to give thanks to the universal God for bringing that light in, that knowledge in, that peace in. Come on in here. Because say, baby, ow, regardless of what you're giving, regardless of how you're living, when you're giving out positivity, it always finds you again. Hello? It always finds you. Honey, right when you thought that it was getting worse, girl, it starts to get better. Hello? Hello? And I always take out this. What are y'all sewing into? And what I mean by that is the spiritual people that you're supporting, are they nourishing your soul? Are they nourishing your spirit? Are they nourishing your mind? Are they nourishing your energy? Or are you wasting your energy, which is your time and your money, because it looks good? I always take all this, and I promise you I'm done. As a spiritual provider or someone who offers spiritual services, the way that you tell me your business and you give me insight on your life, I'm always open to that with me as well. Mystic, how are you able to A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Right, Bella. How are you able to A, B, C, D? Baby, I can show you how we can A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Mystic, what credentials you have to help me better my life? I can show you, girl, because we document everything. We can show how we do that. See, it's not for the public because a lot of people just want to see, they want to be nosy. They don't want to apply the information to their lives. That's not the reason why you charge for your services. Some people just like the idea. But anything you want to know, how are you able to help me? What type of work you do protection? How do you this? Oh, you just, baby, I can always show you better than I can tell you. And I'm always open to show you better than I can tell you because talk is cheap. And that's where I'm at with that. So bless you all, honey. Anybody out there, you're listening to these people talk about protection work is painful. You might as well listen to them telling you that magic is fake because that's what they're saying. And then you're looking at them like protection is banful. Is it the same bitch that got to beg for money? Let me stop. No, let me not do that. Let me not do that. Let me not do that. Oh. I'm not do that, girl. Because it's going to turn into a reading session on somebody, and I don't want to read that lady. I don't want to read her down because I have a feeling who I'm. You know what I mean? I don't want to read her down. It's gonna make me give a reading session, honey. And I'm not on here for the reads, honey. I like to educate, but girl, I ain't gonna do it like that, girl. Okay. Anyway, that's it, honey. So it's wise to walk both paths, light and dark. Definitely, you gotta have a balance. Spirituality is true sanctuary first and foremost. It sure is King of Sheba. Yes, honey. Spirituality is finding out who you really are. Spirituality, unfortunately, has been considered an entertainment, a form of entertainment by people lying and saying that they've been fucking on celebrities that are deceased that they never met. It become a form of entertainment by people out here who are single that can't get nobody, will never be able to get nobody, couldn't get a man or a woman to save their life. I'm going to do a spell to get this man. And now they find a crackhead or a homeless man that needs some type of shelter or food to fucking eat. Now, y'all look at my man and you looking at this motherfucker like, girl, he's only there because you gave him a house to sleep in, girl, and you're feeding him. The fuck? So it's like, baby, it's really, truly, honestly about finding your peace, a balance. It's about awakening yourself. Why are we still operating in the mundane world if we're spiritually awakened people? And I always say that it's very mind blowing to me that a lot of these people that are so called tapped in and you get your gold and silver and I take my palladium, their teeth is fucked up and rotten. They got fucked up ass skin. And they owe child support and they got a lot of shit going on with them. And it's just like, so what is the benefits of me consuming your gold products? Why am I going to be buying your colloidal silver? Why am I going to be buying your Ankh jewelry and shit? Why are you giving me rituals and tips on manifesting shit? And it's not working on you. I used to go to a fitness place, y'all, and it's not even a cut-in, where they be selling like fitness shit. You buy like teeth and shit, you lose weight. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, realistically, I've been coming to here for like 2 or 3 years, and I see something in myself. These people look the same, and these people are younger than me. They look the same or they look worse than they did when I first met them 3 years ago. So it's like, why am I buying products to help me when the people are selling ain't happening? You know why? Because it's about the money for them. It's not about actually helping me get to my weight loss goals. It's not actually helping me to stay healthy and get it. It's about putting money in those pockets. And so that's what it is. And so it made me step back because I was like, girl, wait a minute. And that's with anything. Girl, if you have the ability and you're here and you know, you can help, like, girl, show us that you show us you have the credential, and which better place is you? Because you can't be like, well, I help this person become this and that, but I couldn't help myself get that. That's not how that works, babe. It takes one to know one. So maybe you're not that because you don't want to be in front of the camera. Let's say maybe you help people become famous because you don't want to be in front of the camera. I'm that person. I don't care to be in front. Oh yeah, there's a TV show going on. Girl, we can share our emails. We can always share contacts that we've had with people on the adult industry side and the regular mundane born side, as people say, the floppy side. Who turned down what? Who said no thank you respectfully? Oh, baby, it was good. Yeah, some of the offers were definitely nice. But it's like, like, what is that going to get me? Probably in the cemetery quicker. Doing all that to make what? A couple of $100,000? And then, bitch, when it's done, I'm done? For me, that's not how it works. For me, I would never be that type of person. And so that's where it's at. Spirituality is really Um, it's really my source. Spirituality is really something that I love. I love spirituality. I love spiritual identity. I love understanding and knowing my spiritual identity and helping other people to identify and to help them with their spiritual identity. Hello. And I know that's over a lot of people's heads, but that's what spirituality is about. Finding who you are. And not what you are, but who you are. Because what you are is what they tell you. Who you are is what you know. And what you know, and you may not know it, but whose you are. Hello? And that's why the world is so fucked up now, because you have a lot of so-called spiritual people and ain't nobody doing a goddamn thing. I said that respectfully, girl. Hello? That's it, honey. So walk both paths. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Ooh, let me go. Ooh, Jay, I feel it. Ooh, Jay. Jay, I feel it. I need to take this ass to bed. Been a big thing on YouTube because it's clout chasing. Jay, before you came in here, my question was, I'm a little concerned that, and not concerned, but I would say I'm like, oh girl, that people will jump to right now, the Venezuelan Maduro thing, right? Maduro, right? They're like, oh my God, Donald Trump, this is going to happen to him. I'm like, most of y'all don't even know where the fuck Venezuela's at. Why is that y'all story? Why is that even on your tongue? Why are you not teaching your people how to protect themselves? Why are you not teaching women how to keep themselves sexually healthy? Why are you not sitting there teaching these? Because you're not talking about spirituality when you talk about all the shit that you're talking about. Politics, Nicki Minaj. That's not spiritual, babe. Why are you not teaching Black women on health? Because that's the number one killer is cardiovascular disease. Why are you not teaching Black women how to protect their energy? Why is it always a lot with a lot? And that's where's that for me. If you're concerned about the spiritual welfare of your people, you're going to say, listen. And of course, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I could say respectfully as a trans person, I think I've done more for Black women than a lot of these so-called Black spiritualists on this YouTube. And what I'm saying doing for, we're talking about actually helping you to find yourself, actually encouraging you to be yourself. Although, my conversations have, some people see it as something totally different. Like, oh, this bitch is coming for us. No, honey, I want you to see who the hell you are. If I had a problem with anybody, Black, gay, white, Black, anything, girl, I would be like these other people, girl. I would just not go outside or I would just do some other shit. I mean, let's be real here. Girl, I wouldn't be in your face and kicking with you and like you because I don't have to. I don't have to kiss your ass to get paid. Never have and I never will. And that's people got to understand. I don't have to do that. So I'm telling you this, I'm speaking to you like a mother who loves their child who wants to say, bitch, wake the fuck up. Jennifer, wake up. That's what my conversations are about. It's not about hate because there's no hate in this body. There's no hate in his body. I see things that does not make sense to me, but I'm like, baby, who am I? Who am I? I didn't create this. Who am I to say this is real or fake? Who am I to say it's right or wrong? That's not my perception. That's not my reality. Respectfully, honestly, and truly, seeing people in a state of emergency, and I even shared this with a sister of mine today. I don't like to watch the news. I don't like to watch anything that reminds me of how impoverished and how broken our world is because it's traumatizing to me. It's emotionally draining to me. I was sitting here and I would think to myself, oh my God, these people in New York, these people in Florida, these people in Texas, oh my God, the Black people, oh my God, the gay people, oh my God, the dogs, the cats. Could you imagine 24 hours in one day? That's all that's going through my mind. And I'm that person, I will not just be thinking about it. I will be like, you know what? These white people, these white men want to do this to these people. Let me go fuck up a motherfucker. Like, that's what I would be doing. Oh, the people want to beat the dogs. They want to run the dogs. They want to do fucked things to dogs. Let me go find one of these motherfuckers and short it out. Like, that's what I would do. So to keep me sane and balanced, I cannot indulge in that stuff. I cannot allow my energy to go that way. And I think that everybody has their own purpose. I think that some people are here to worry because it's a system, right? Everything has to flourish. Everyone cannot be the critical thinker. Everybody cannot be the positive thinker. Everybody cannot be the one that says, hey, this is what it is and let it go. That's never going to happen. Y'all want this to be that type of world, but it's never going to happen. It's going to always be racism. It's going to always be sexism. It's going to always be homophobia, transphobia. It's going to always be fat shaming, skinny shaming. It's going to always be that. Your role is your role. Your title is your title. Stay in your lane and do your thing. All I say is I question. If you really care about the black people, if you really care about black women and black women, these men are walking around trying to beat you, and black women, these men are getting surgery look like you. If you're really concerned about black women, then tell black women to change their diet. Tell black women to stop stressing about a motherfucking man that don't give a fuck about you. Stop telling these black women to stop holding on to shit that does not matter to them anymore. It doesn't matter that mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa and big sister and big brother kicked you out at 16 years old. You're 50 years old now, babe. It doesn't matter that brother and sister don't want to fuck with you as a grown person. Like, that's what you would be telling them if you were concerned about them, but you're not. You don't give a fuck about them. And you're leading them straight down the path to what? You're giving them a false sense of hope. For me, your health is everything. It doesn't matter how much money you got. It doesn't matter how many men like you. It doesn't matter what you have. I'm a real woman. I'm not. Girl, how is your health? Let's talk about the real deal. You have hypertension? You have high cholesterol? Bitch, like, let's talk about the real shit. You over here dying to be loved, literally. You over here dying to be respected, literally. And these so-called black spiritualists that care about the black woman, they're not talking about that. And the same thing with the man too. I'm like, girl, are y'all really gay? Because y'all not doing a seminar on black health, black woman health. And then the same ones that want to do it, they're on some creepy shit. They want to get the black woman in there because they want to fuck on them. They're not trying to teach y'all about good health and all that. Oh, I got some sea moss gel for y'all. And I got some herbal shit to get you right. And then the DMs talk about, baby, come over here and get me wet. Like, excuse me? So that's where it's at for me. And then you have people on the outside looking in. They're like, girl, this is a joke. Don't take none of these motherfuckers serious. This is a fucking joke. This is a joke. Baby, they're so pro, and all they talk about is shit that they cannot change. But what they can change is what they put in their mouth. What they can change is what they watch. What they can change is what they do. And I was even talking about that with somebody earlier, and I promise you I'm going to be done. Obviously, I'm going to be here shortly. Bitch, I got to be done after this, okay? There have been laws set up to protect people, finances, and or and whether or not gay marriage is legal, nobody could tell anybody of who they can leave their money to. A lot of wealthy people, a lot of people who are knowledgeable, you know, they and some people not. They met the right lawyers and they got lucky and they became, you know, in the 80s and 90s before gay marriage was even legal. They were able to, you know, receive the money and stuff from their, you know, beloved one that passed on. But in 2025, y'all, that wouldn't be a fair. There's so many laws, there's so many ways, there's so many things you could do your research on, a living will and testament. Can we talk about it? To where whether or not they pass or ban gay marriage, that you can still leave your money to your loved ones that they can't do a fuck ass thing about. So for me, it's like knowledge is power. If you knew better, you would do better. If you knew better, you would know that nobody has control over your happiness and peace of mind. In 2025, instead of us looking up how to do a binding spell to get a man to come over and fuck us that don't really want us, Because really, if we had to do that, that means he probably don't want us. In all honesty, you probably really don't want us. And if he don't want me, I don't want him. I mean, let's talk about it. I don't hate myself enough to say I want to fuck this man that don't want me. Hello? Instead of doing those type of spells, why not do a healing spell to lower your stress? Why not do a ritual instead of getting money to, I got to help this nigga pay for his court cases. Why not get money to help pay off your debt? So you're not stuck with bad credit and you gotta get, settle for low income shit because your credit fucked up. Hello? Like, these are things that people should be talking about. But like I said, they don't care. And people don't care that they don't care. Because these are the questions that I will be asking. Baby, why don't we talk about Black health? Why instead of you sitting up here doing videos on me changing my lifestyle, why are we talking about aliens? Need to change their diet and their lifestyle, or ain't gonna be no Black woman here. Between the abductions and the heart attacks and the heart diseases and the breast cancers, ain't gonna be no Black woman here by 2020 motherfucking 50. Hello? 2050. But that's not the discussion because that's not the concern. The concern is I'm gonna get it while it's hot. I'm gonna get it while they got the money for me. I'm gonna get it while they here so they can pay me. And when they go down, oh, another one that bit the dust. Oh, it's unfortunate. And that's what I'm talking about, girl. I'm for anybody right now in 2026 to be about health and peace of mind, health and well-being. I don't give a fuck about anything else, girl. You gonna make it happen, honey. Respectfully to my gay people, you gonna be okay with or without gay marriage being passed. Respectfully to my immigrants out there, you gonna be okay whether or not you're allowed to stay or you're allowed to go. You're gonna be okay, baby. Ultimately, you're here to live your life. And you're here for a purpose. And maybe the purpose is superseding you being whatever it is you think you are, you being gay or you being whatever. But your health is more important than anything else. Your peace of mind is more important than anything else. And without your peace of mind, you cannot be that good wife that you want to be. You cannot be a good son, a good daughter. You cannot be a good friend. You cannot be anything that you think you are. No, I gotta find. You're not going to be a good that if your peace of mind is not intact. So I'm leaving with that. We got to do better. We got to do better, honey. Gay people, educate yourself. We got to do better. Immigrants, educate yourself. We got to do better. Women, educate yourself. Because, we all under attack right now, girl. Men putting their hands on women, choking them out and shit. Because they didn't want to go make them a sandwich. Like, girl, we got to do better, girl. Women drugging men and shit. And they proud about it. People use the gays for their money. Now they got all the money they can get from the gays because gays don't want to give out no more money because the pandemic hit. Now they want to turn it back on the gays. I'm like, girl, listen, we got to do better. We're out here worrying about Donald Trump having bipolarity and stomach cancer, and we died of heart disease. Goddamn. We're out here talking about what they planning, the agenda is. They coming to kidnap the kids and this and that. Why we died of heart disease and congestive heart failure. That means that we're not going to see our grandkids and we're probably not going to see our fucking kids. And we're more concerned about Cheeto. We're more concerned about a law that might be passed that they can come in and take your kids out the fucking school. You're not even in good shape to fight if you have to fight to protect your kids. If you want to be honest, you're not even in good shape. You can't even go, the fuck? And they're fat shaming. And we need to ban Cardi B because she called me fat and she shamed me for being big. Like, sis, that's not your concern. If Donald Trump and them release some fucking tigers or cougars that chased everybody down and they want to put you in a fucking Hunger Game shit, would you be able to outrun these fucking lions and cheetahs and shit that they got and bionic robots, AI coochie cutters and shit? Would you be able to outrun these things? Like, fuck the dumb shit. Well, if we really want to talk about it, how strong is your heart, babe? You're not managing the blood pressure, but you tend to manage what dick is coming over. Make it make sense. You can't manage your insulin resistance, but you could definitely manage your when you're gonna get plowed next. Like we have to do better, babe, collectively. And then instead of worrying about us, worrying about everybody else. Well, why is she getting all of it? She's a hoe. Okay, let it be a hoe. Does that fuck you? Do that worry about you? Oh, that's a man. Well, let it be a man. Does that affect you? I didn't know that him being a man or her being a woman has anything to do with you not getting what you need to get. And the whites, and we got to be careful with the whites and the Asians and all that. But why? No, we need to be concerned with ourselves. We got to be careful with ourselves. That's what we need to be. We need to be careful with ourselves. Girl, we're not even great keepers of ourselves. Girl, we can't even trust a full bag of fucking hot Cheetos around ourselves, but we talk about, I ain't trusting no president. You don't trust yourself, babe. You can't even trust a bag of ice cream being in your motherfucking freezer. You can't even trust, you can't even trust a whole bottle of cognac being on your counter. We talk about, I ain't trusting that. You don't trust yourself, babe, so I'm not offended by you ain't trusting me. The fuck? Are you cool? And this is where the shit starts at, honey. Oh, honey, I don't care for the LGBT. Girl, you don't care for anybody, girl. You out for yourself, baby. You don't care about the woman, you don't care about the man. Anyway, I'm out of here. After I read somewhere the mental health unit is decline. It sure is. Do they really take away gay rights? They definitely can. Or they could try to block it. Mm-hmm. They definitely can. But I mean, it didn't stop us in the past, Jay. You had trans people existing, you had gay people existing, gay men, homosexual, lesbian women, you had bisexual, yeah. People thought that being visible was going to help out, but it's actually pushing us further and further away from what we want. I don't need a man to like me to come out and tell the world he likes me. Honey, hello? I don't need that to be on the front cover news. And I'm concerned about them taking me out because we're not being visible. It's like, girl, everybody take you out. Or is it the thuggish, bruggish bones? Because they taking out their baby mamas too. Just so happen it's becoming national news when you're trans because you're a smaller percentage of the population. But they're taking out their baby mamas too. Yes, they are, babe. Hello? Baby, everybody's getting got. So it's like, honey, no, girl, we got to be more smarter with who we deal with. Then you also have the ones that are out here exposing and shit. Like, girl, wait, what? Y'all want to be visible? Make it make sense, girl. We can go back to the 70s, honey, for me, girl. We make it more, excuse me, the door came busted open, and the only ones that are coming through it are the freaks. girl, hello? And I mean that all the way around, girl. I'm going to keep it there. I'm not going to go into no detail with shit, girl, because people going to think I'm bringing people down. I'm being real, honey. You come busting through the door, girl. They start making rights. They say, yeah, girl, we can give it to Lakeisha Calabin. And girl, now Lakeisha got it. They're going to say, well, Lakeisha don't look better than me, delusional ass. Lakeisha don't look better than me. Let me go through it and get it too. Bingo. Honey, girl, you get dragged through the door, you get fucked up, girl. You come through the door, girl, they throwing rock shit at you, and you standing up, girl. Then you got motherfuckers that see you go through the door and say, oh, the door's open. Let me just kick it down, girl. They just kick the door down, girl, and think that everybody gonna say it. Like, girl, do you not know the progress and how long it took to get to even the point to where you can even do the basic of this? And now you just want to go back. Oh, well, honey, I don't want to put in much effort, but I still want you to call me Queen Natoba. I'm just gonna, girl, wear a girdle, put on heels, and girl, you gonna call me Queen Natoba still. Like, girl, it's not gonna happen like that, bruh. It's not gonna happen like that, baby. Sorry, babe. Sorry, babe, honey. So definitely I need to take around gay rights, honey. Definitely, honey. But like I said, we need to do better, honey. Okay. And I'm out of here, honey. Peace and love, peace and blessings. Stay positive, y'all. Happy Tuesday, y'all. And yes, honey, Tuesday, January the 6th, y'all. 6 is a Mars number, y'all. I hope y'all paying attention. 6 is connected to Mars. Tuesday is connected to Mars. Mm, mm. Hello. 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 I hope y'all paying attention. If you're not, you're not. Okay. Let me go, honey. Bye for now, y'all. Be good to yourselves. Bye, Jays. Good seeing you, honey. Yes, honey. Oh, snap. Father Mars. Yes, Jay. Come on in here. Jay, I hope you sleep well, honey. Sleep well, okay? Burning blue. Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't know why that song just popped up in my head right now, honey. I'm dripping away. I'm on me. Anyway, y'all.